Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you'll be getting ready with me. You can call this a tutorial, you can call it a get ready with me. I wanted to film, I'm going to be filming a video after this, and I just thought, why not film my makeup as I'm doing it for my next video. And I wanted to play with a few of the products that I picked up at the Nordstrom anniversary sale. In today's video, this guy is kind of the star of the show. It is the Mercier face palette. Is that what they're calling this? It's the Eye and Cheek palette, the Essentials Eye and Cheek palette. And it is what it's called. It's an eye and cheek palette. So you get 8 eyeshadows and you get 2 blush colors and a bronzer here. It retailed for $65 as part of the sale. It was kind of a toss-up for me between this and the Bobbi Brown palette. But the reason I decided to go with this palette is because it is $65 where the Bobbi Brown was $98. And the Bobbi Brown is a kind of bigger presentation. It has more products in it, and you also get this beautiful pouch that it came with, and I really, really wanted it, but I looked more at the shadows in that palette, and I knew that this was kind of more my vibe. These are more shadows that I wear on the daily, so I figured the Bobbi Brown was something that I just wanted because it was pretty, and it was packaged beautifully, and I wanted that pouch, but I knew what I would wear day to day would be this guy, so this is what I decided to go with. If you have your eyes on the Bobbi Brown palette, I'm not discouraging you to get that by any means. The shadows in it are a little bit more cool toned. I typically wear more warm, but you know, don't let that persuade you. I'll have the Bobbi Brown linked down below for you too. It's a very beautiful presentation, and I would recommend it if you like those shades. But yeah, so I used that, and then I used a couple of lip products that I also picked up. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get started. All right, first things first, let's get this hair back. I just washed it today, so it is quite voluminous, you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so clearly I have my foundation, bronzer. I did put a little bit of blush on this morning, not thinking, because I do want to show you guys the blush that comes in this palette. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start by priming my eyes with the Revlon Color Stay eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to squeeze a small amount, about so, and I just use my 2 fingers and blend this onto the eye, making sure I get it all the way from the lash line up to the eyebrow. And I want to make sure that it's pretty sheer all over. I want to make sure it's not thicker in some places and thinner in other places, because I want it to be really even. That way my eyeshadow doesn't stick more in certain areas. Okay, so first things first, let me show you guys the palette. So it comes with 8 shadows, 2 blushes, and a good matte bronzer there. I do feel like this eyeshadow palette has everything you need to complete an entire look. The first thing I always look for in an eyeshadow palette is, does it have a good brow highlight? And to me, this is like the perfect brow highlight. And does it have a good transition or crease color? And I feel like this is a really great universal transition color. If you feel like this color is too dark for you, it does have this nice bronzer here, which also could work as a transition shade for you. So this palette has both a brow and a crease. I feel like sometimes they get it wrong. Either the brow highlight is way too frosty, or the crease color is way too dark or way too light. I feel like this is the perfect shade right here. And if it's too dark, you also have this option here, which is a little bit more pink, but quite a bit lighter, and could also work as a transition color. Then you have these 2 shadows here that are perfect for the eyelid. They have a nice amount of shimmer. This one also has some shimmer to it. Then you have these 2 dark shadows here, one with shimmer, one that's matte. So these would work great as outer V colors or as eyeliner. So I'm going to start with the lightest matte color right here. Oh, and I didn't even show you, it has this nice big mirror here too. I still have the little protector here. So I'm going to start with this matte shadow here, and I'm just going to put this underneath the brow and then softly dust it on my eyelid. You can see that this is just a tad lighter than my natural skin tone when it goes on. It's not as light as it looks on me. I do feel like these shadows are pretty buildable, so I'm going to try and build this up to get a little bit more, yeah, see? So it does build. If you want a little bit more brightness, you can achieve that. Then next, I'm going to start with my crease color, and I started in that video with this shadow here. It's kind of like a dusty, you can't really tell on camera, but it's kind of like a dusty mauve-y, pinkish matte shade, and I would say it's about mid-tone. It goes on a little darker than it looks on camera. You can see that it does give color on the lid. Like, it looks to me a lot lighter in here than it actually goes on my skin. But I like this because it has that nice pinky, warm undertone. So if you have blue or green eyes, this is really going to complement your eyes. And I'm just dusting this, and I'm just blending this into the crease. I'm using a big fluffy brush because this is going to be the lighter of the two crease colors that I use, I want to kind of diffuse that color upward, really close to my brow almost, because when I go in with the darker crease color, I'm going to concentrate that a little bit more in the crease. That way you still see a pink of this pinky warm tone peeking outside of that crease color. Does that make sense? It'll make sense when I show you. Next, I'm going to go in and I'm going to build a little bit deeper of a crease. So I'm going to go in with a 221 brush by MAC. This one needs to be washed. And I'm going to grab this shade right here. And I'm going to start in the outer corner and just work that into the crease. Since this brush is a little smaller and more precise than the 224 that I just used for the first color, it is naturally going to apply a more defined and controlled color there. You know, it's not going to make it so washed and diffused looking. It's going to be a little bit more defined. Does that make sense? And I'm really just kind of concentrating this on the outer corner and then working about midway through. I'm not taking it over as far because I don't want it to be too dark as we get here in the inner region of my eye. I really want it to be on the outside. I think this palette is really easy to work with. And I think it's a great travel palette because it does have everything you need for your complete face. I mean, even if you didn't want to bring an eyeliner along with you while you're packing, you could just use these shadows in here as your eyeliner. So that is what we have now. Next, I'm going to go in and layer on my eyelid color, and I'm going to use this color here. Let me show you what it looks like. You can see it's just a nice shimmery, slightly peach, kind of champagne color. It has a little bit of that golden peach tone to it. And I'm using a 213 brush by MAC, and I'm going to really load up the side of my brush. I'm not using the tip, I'm using the side. That's how I'm going to pick up the most product and deposit the most product. Every time I work with shimmery shadows like this, I always kind of tap my brush just to make any fall out of the brush before it gets to my face. And I'm just going to kind of press this onto the eyelid. You can see this color goes on really nicely. I'm just pressing. That is how you're going to get the most impact of color. Press, 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 press. Perfect. See how pretty and easy that is? I feel like that took 2 seconds. Okay, next I'm going to go in with my upper liner, and in that video I didn't use these pencils. I actually used a shadow from this, but I did want to show you how these pencils glide on. So this is a Laura Geller eyeliner set that I got. You get 4 colors in here, and it was $29. And they are full-size eyeliners, so that's a pretty good deal, right? I mean, that's quite a bit less than $10. So what is that? Is that like $7 an eyeliner? Is that right? Yeah, that's like $7 an eyeliner. Okay, so I'm using the brown one, the really dark brown. And I'm just going to kind of tug on my lid here. So these glide on really nicely. They're pretty rich in color too. And I'm going to slightly kind of create the tiniest little wing. I mean, you might not even call that a wing, but basically what I did is instead of going downward at the end, I just flicked it up a little bit. So one thing about lash extensions is shadow gets caught. You can probably see it all there in my lashes. Next, I'm going to set that eyeliner, and I'm going to go in here and use the darkest matte shade in the palette. And I'm just using a flat, stiff brush. This is the Flat Definer brush by Sigma. It's the E15 brush, so you can kind of see what it looks like. It's just very flat. A winged eyeliner brush would actually be a little bit more ideal for this, but I don't have that in front of me, so we're just going to work with this. And I'm just going to go right over that eyeliner and kind of extend that line up just a tad. Perfect. Okay, so this would be a better brush. I actually found one hiding here. This would be a better brush for this. Let me redo that with this brush. This is like the perfect winged eyeliner brush. It's the E06 by Sigma. I used to talk about this brush a lot on my channel. It is like the perfect, most easy winged eyeliner brush you can find because it's so small. And it's not too stiff, so it has a little bit of bend. So when you're working on your eyeliner and you get out to the end, you can manipulate it a little bit. If it's too stiff, it's hard to get that perfectly flicked line. But this brush is easy. It's the E06 by Sigma. I cannot recommend this brush enough for winged eyeliner. Okay, next for lower liner, I'm going to line the inner rim of my eye with something bright. This is the Lasting Drama Waterproof Eye Pencil by Maybelline. And I hope this doesn't like stab my eye. It needs to be sharpened. Yeah, this isn't, we'll see how this is going to work. I do like this one. Over this in the Wet n Wild Brow Highlighter, I prefer the Wet n Wild Brow Highlighter because it's softer than this. This kind of dries up if you don't keep refreshing it and sharpening it. Next, I'm going to line the lower lash line, and I'm going to use that Laura Geller pencil again. And I'm just gonna concentrate this right on the outer half of my lower lash line. This is pretty dark, so I don't wanna bring it too far over, but I will soften this with a shadow. So I'm gonna use that same brush, the Sigma flat definer brush, and I'm gonna go in with my palette. Instead of going with the really dark one, I'm gonna use the shade that I used in my crease. This is actually gonna look quite a bit darker than it does in the palette because I'm putting it on top of that eyeliner, and also because I'm using a very stiff brush, it's going to apply a lot more and make it look darker. For mascara, the closest thing that I have near me is the Color Science mascara. This was gifted one of the products that I got came with a mascara. So I'm just gonna put this on my lower lash line. You guys know I have lash extensions, so actually let's just put a tiny bit. I'm about a week out from a fill, so right around this point I feel like I need more lashes, even though I don't. Okay, so for blush, I'm gonna use this pink shade here. It's kind of this like, more of a dusty rose pink, whereas this is like a brighter pink. It has a lot more peach to it. This is more of a cool toned blush. I did have a little bit of blush on this morning, so I apologize for that. I wasn't thinking when I was getting ready. Blush is one of those things that I can't leave the house without. Blush or bronzer. I need something on my cheeks to give my face some life. For lips, I'm gonna line my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner. So I purchased this outside of the sale, but part of the sale is a Charlotte Tilbury lip set where you get the lip liner and then you also get 2 lipsticks. I didn't purchase those because there was one lipstick that I just wasn't really my color. It was a little too deep for me. And since I already have the lip liner, I thought, well, there's no need for me to purchase this set just by using one lipstick. But I did want to show you what this liner looks like, so I really, really like it. It's like the perfect nude pink. I feel like this liner is very easy to overline your lips if you like to do that. There is a trick to overlining your lips, and I actually did a video on it maybe a year or 2 ago that I'll link down below, but I feel like this is the perfect shade to do that because it's very close to a natural lip color. For lipstick, I'm wearing Clinique Nude Pop. This was part of a set that I picked up for anniversary sale. You actually get 5 of these lipsticks for $29, I think, or $28. I love this formula of lipstick, you guys. It is so comfortable on the lips. It's not super creamy. I would say it's in between a matte and a cream lipstick. Like, it's more hydrating than a matte lipstick, but it's not as creamy or thick. It's very lightweight on the lips, if that makes sense. And I love this color. Isn't this like the perfect color? This is called Nude Pop. I don't think I owned this one. I owned a few full size, but I don't think I own this one. I almost don't want to put lip gloss on this. This color is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I need to take a picture before I put gloss on because I feel like this needs to go up on Instagram. Just one moment. Oh, I love this color. Okay, moving on. Focus, Lisa. So to finish the look, I'm going to top the lips with this Jouer lip gloss, and this is in the shade Park Avenue High Pigment Lip Gloss. I hadn't owned any Jouer lip glosses. I remembered what it was that I had owned before. In the last video, I was trying to recall what Jouer lip products I had tried, and it was the, they're like matte, they kind of look like this. I got a small set though, but they were matte lip stains, and I really loved those. They were very comfortable for being lip stains, so I didn't own any glass. And I really like these, and I love this color. It has a very good amount of pigment, so these can be worn completely alone if you'd like. You don't have to wear lipstick underneath them, and you're gonna still have a nice amount of color on your lips. As you can see, they work well over lipsticks too. Oh, I love that lip. This might be my favorite lip combo. Excuse me while I take one more picture for Instagram. I feel like I have to share this with you guys like right now. Do you follow me on Instagram? If you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely go check me out there because I feel like I'm always sharing stuff that I love like in the moment. Like I'll put something on and love it, and clearly it's a lot easier to upload a post on Instagram than it is to film a video on it, so you will get a lot more favorite products over there. All right, you guys, that wraps up this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy this makeup look. Leave me all your questions and comments down below. Let me know what you were picking up at the Nordstrom Anniversary Beauty Sale. I will also have my video linked down below that it was the Nordstrom Beauty product haul that I filmed. You can check that out to see what other products I got. There were some other products. I got the Derma Flash, which I definitely plan on doing a review on for you guys here very, very soon. I expect to probably film that this week, so that should be up hopefully by next week. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!